Now the Philistines gathered their forces for war and assembled in Judah. A giant named Goliath came out of the Philistine camp. His height was 6 cubits and a span. Goliath stood and shouted to the Israelite army,
"Why are you all coming out to fight? I am the Philistine champion, but you are only the servants of King Saul. Choose one man to come and fight me. If he kills me, we will be your slaves. But if I kill him, you will be our slaves. I defy the armies of Israel today. Send a man who will fight me."
When Saul and the Israelites heard this, they were terrified and deeply shaken. For 40 days, every morning and evening, the Philistine champion strutted in front of the Israelite army. Now Jesse sent his son David with food for his brothers, who were camped at the battlefield. The next day, David reached the camp as the armies were going out to their battle positions. David ran to the battle lines and asked his brothers how they were. As he was talking with them, Goliath, the Philistine champion from Gath, stepped out from his lines and shouted his usual defiance, and David heard it. David said to King Saul,
"Let your servant fight the Philistine."
"You can't fight Goliath. He is a giant. You are only a boy."
But David said to Saul,
"I have been caring for my father's sheep. When a lion or a bear stole my sheep, I went after it and rescued it. If the beast turned on me, I killed it. This Philistine will be like one of them, because he defied the armies of the living God. The Lord will rescue me."
So Saul sent him to battle. David picked 5 smooth stones, and armed only with his shepherd's staff and sling, he started across the valley to fight the Philistine. Meanwhile, Goliath kept coming closer to David. He looked David over and saw that he was only a boy, and he despised him. He yelled at David,
"Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks? Come here and I'll destroy you."
But David said to the Philistine,
"It isn't how strong you are, or how many swords and spears you have that will save you. It is God who saves you. This is God's battle, and God always wins his battles."
As the Philistine moved closer to attack him, David ran to meet him. Reaching into his bag and taking out a stone, he slung it and struck the Philistine on the forehead. The stone sank into his forehead, and Goliath fell face down on the ground. So David triumphed over the Philistine with a sling and a stone. Without a sword in his hand, he struck down the Philistine and killed him. The word of the Lord.